Welcome back, folks. After yesterday's rip to fresh all-time highs, stocks finally took a hit today, and the Nasdaq left behind a spinning top doji that has us asking whether this is the start of a real multi-day pullback or just another pause before the indexes try to scream higher again. Under the hood, the bigger concern is that the dollar popped, oil is still refusing to fully break down, yields are consolidating in potentially bullish patterns, and XLU just broke the lower trend line of its triangle.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of heavy stuff to unpack there today.
Let's get into what Grok Trade is seeing across the charts. And before we do, a friendly reminder. This is not financial advice, and we're not telling you to buy, sell, chase, dump, short, or marry any position. Grok Trade is sharing technical analysis, market perspective, and educational commentary based on the current chart setups. So trade your own plan, manage your own risk, and get professional financial guidance for decisions specific to your situation.
All right, so let's anchor on that spinning top doji on the QQQ you just mentioned. Visually, I mean, it represents this brutal tug of war on the chart where neither buyers nor sellers could really gain an inch.
Basically a total stalemate.
Exactly. But, looking at the broader tape for today, Thursday, May 7th, 2026, the sellers might actually be quietly winning that underlying war because IWM took a pretty hard 1.58% hit today.
Ouch. Yeah, that's significant.
It is. The odds of a real pullback are definitely growing fast, primarily because, well, those macro headwinds you listed at the top are gaining serious momentum.
Let me push back for just a second, though. Why do the U.S. dollar popping and, yields creeping up immediately translate to equity panic? We hear this constantly, but what's the actual mechanism breaking the market here?
Right. So it really comes down to capital flow and borrowing costs. We mentioned the dollar, DXY, popped today after that long downside wick yesterday. It's sitting in what we call higher time frame bull pullback territory.
Which is what exactly? Just catching its breath.
Yeah, precisely. Catching its breath, like we mentioned yesterday, before potentially launching higher. And then you add in the 2-year through the 20-year Treasury yields, and they're all consolidating in these ascending triangle-like patterns.
Meaning they're repeatedly bumping against a ceiling and preparing to break upward?
You got it. And when yields rise, corporate borrowing becomes fundamentally more expensive. That instantly makes a company's future profits worth less today, which just mechanically squeezes stock valuations.
I look at it like trying to hold, 3 inflated beach balls underwater at the exact same time. You've got the dollar, yields, and light crude oil futures ticker CL.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That is a perfect way to put it.
Right. Eventually, one of them just slips from your grasp, shoots to the surface, and splashes the entire equity market. And, CL bounced from rising support to form a symmetrical triangle today.
Which is wild. Honestly, in a highly headline-driven market like this one, that is a huge deal. If CL breaks upward out of that triangle, it feeds directly into inflation fears.
Right, which forces yields higher, which strengthens the dollar further.
Exactly. It's a completely closed-loop pressure system. And you're seeing that stress fracture. Traditional sectors, too, like the utility sector, XLU, just broke the lower trend line of its own triangle today.
Okay, but what about the financial sector, XLF? It's bull flagging below its 200-day moving average, but it's dangerously lagging the major indexes.
Yeah. It really is.
If bank stocks are the supposed engine of the economy, shouldn't they be leading the charge, not dragging their feet?
That lag is precisely the warning siren, honestly. A bull flag is usually a continuation pattern, but when it's trapping price under a major resistance level like the 200-day moving average while the rest of the market runs.
That shows institutional hesitation.
100%. If banking liquidity dries up and that flag fails, the broader markets are going to follow them down.
Quick question for you guys. What chart do you want Grok Trade to keep an eye on next? Drop the ticker, sector, crypto, or market theme in the comments because that helps us aim these episodes at what you're actually watching instead of just guessing. And if you appreciate these daily market reads, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe so you can stay caught up with the next summary.
Definitely let us know in the comments.
So now, if equities and traditional sectors are flashing all these warning signs, is that fear spilling over into risk-on assets? Is Bitcoin stepping up as a safe haven right now?
Well, it is painting a highly conflicted picture. Bitcoin currently has a steady daily uptrend, but it is directly fighting against a massive, longer-term weekly downtrend.
I'm looking at the volume on that move up, though, and it is shrinking to almost nothing.
Which tells you really everything you need to know about the market psychology right now. Shrinking volume on an uptrend means the buyers lack conviction. The move up is hollow.
So it's basically just a temporary bear pullback on the larger time frame before gravity takes over again.
Exactly. And we saw that exact same lack of buyer commitment in metals today, too. Silver had a technical breakout, but it left behind a massive upper wick on the chart.
Meaning buyers tried to push it up and sellers just aggressively slapped the price right back down into the close.
That's the mechanics of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sellers are heavily defending the current price ceiling. And when you have multiple headwind assets like crypto, metals, oil, the dollar, all sitting near major decision points at the exact same time.
Awareness is literally your only defense because these technical setups aren't predictions.
Right. They are not predictions.
Yeah.
Which means you have to be prepared for more than one scenario. If you're trading a headline-sensitive market without a mechanical plan for when you're wrong, you're just gambling. Having a hedge has literally never been more important, especially when trading oil right now.
For sure. Before we wrap, here's a provocative thought for you to chew on. If every algorithmic trading bot and retail trader is watching these exact same technical pressure points, at what point did these chart setups become self-fulfilling prophecies? Or worse, a trap set by institutional money? Think on that.
Oh, that is a dangerous question to ask.
It really is. Anyway, wish you a great rest of the day, and we'll catch you tomorrow as we track whether this pullback grows legs, how the dollar and oil resolve, whether yields pick up steam, and what tomorrow's jobs and sentiment data do to the market.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you're a newer trader and want a great foundation with no fluff, start with our free Trading 101 videos at groktrade.com/learn. And if you're ready to reach your full trading potential, whether you're a total beginner or a battle-hardened trader, check out our mentorship program at groktrade.com/trading mentor. All of these links are in the description below. Grok Trade is where traders reach their full potential.